Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan medal video. So in this video we are going to take a look at the Zero Mortals plan, and more importantly just how you get LR Zamasu Goku, which is one of the free-to-play LRs that came out last year for the 5th anniversary and was also the first LR to receive an EZA. So LR Zamasu is pretty straightforward, follows the same guidelines as Master Roshi. You get copies of him from stage 2, you get the medals to awaken him to a TUR state from stage 3, and you will get the medals to awaken him to a LR state from stage 5. You will need 30 medals to get him to TUR state, you will need 50 medals to get him to a LR state, and you can farm all of these things from this stage. There is a bonus for time travelers category units, and there have been some special missions added in terms of the new event or the revamp for the 6th year. So we'll take a look at the old missions first. The old missions were pretty straightforward. You basically just got a copy of Zamasu, which is, nice. It's one copy out of the 29 you will have to get, but it's pretty straightforward, pretty nice to see. And then of course we got a couple orbs and a couple stones for maxing out his super attack and for awakening his different paths. Nothing that you haven't seen, the same kind of missions you'll see from the Master Roshi event, awakening each and every single hidden potential path, and of course raising him to 100% in the hidden potential system. Then we get the new missions. So the new missions are missions that have just come out recently. They've come out for the 6th year anniversary. They're pretty straightforward. To do them you just need either a copy of Zamasu or Pan in your team. The unawakened versions will do, and you'll just have to run the event a certain amount of times with them. The medals that drop do total to be exactly half of what you need for a single copy, or in total 1/6 of the total medals you'll need for if you don't want to spend any Kais, basically. As with Master Roshi, you will need 10 copies for the base Zamasu to have him at SA10. You will then need 4 copies to awaken all of his hidden potential paths. You will then need to raise a second copy to SA10, and then you will have to raise a third copy to SA5. Pretty straightforward. So in total you will need 29 copies of Zamasu, and you will need 90 of the TUR medals, 150 of the LR medals. Sounds like a lot, but it is. But luckily you get 15 TUR medals and 25 LR medals now from these special missions, so it does eat into the grind quite a bit. It's not obviously a lot, it's not like finishing half of your grind, but if you don't want to spend Kais or anything, it's pretty easy to do. You also should be able to pick up a Zamasu Goku as a support from the friends list, which will also help you finish the missions, so not too challenging. There are a couple units you can use to finish out the missions. There's a couple free-to-play time travelers options that you can pick up, things like the Prime Battle Trunks that we just showed on screen. Obviously the first form Cell is also a time traveler. The Strength Vegito is also a time traveler. So there are a couple free-to-play LRs that you can use that will help you fill out the bonus on your team. But beyond that, it's pretty straightforward. Again, for this LR, follow the same principles as Master Roshi, and you won't have any problems. If you are looking to do this LR for the campaign, just bear in mind that you're going to want to have somewhat of a decent team to obviously take on the event. Don't worry too much about having a full time travelers team right off the bat. Try and just farm the first LR copy. In most of these situations, even with Master Roshi and things like that, always try and farm the first LR copy. You have to essentially farm the card 3 times to LR if you want to save cars and not use any cars. But you can farm the first copy quite easily. You only need the 10 copies for his SA level, the 4 copies for hidden potential, and the medals to make the unit go to LR. Then you can rainbow it with orbs, and ta-da, you have a rainbow LR. Once you have that LR as well, you'll have a time traveler's lead, which you can use for the team. He'll be strong enough to finish the event on his own pretty much. So yeah, it's pretty just straightforward. Again, similar to Master Roshi, we need 30 medals to get him to TUR and 50 medals to get him to LR. So if you're going to save cars, like I said before, you're going to need 29 copies of the card, and you're going to need at least 90 TUR medals and 150 of the LR medals. But not too difficult, it's just a bit of grind, a bit of weekend homework. As you could see, it's not too difficult to get medals or anything like that, and you do get now, like I said, half of one unit from the missions. So it's all relatively straightforward, and it's all quite easy. You can also use this Zamasu to train other Zamasu. So if you have other Zamasu units that you want to raise the SA of, you can use this Zamasu. He will be a 50% chance, which is obviously pretty awesome. But like I said, Vegito, First Form Cell, Trunks, these units are free to play. It's going to be like relatively difficult to get those units, before you get Zamasu, but it's just units that you can keep in mind for later on. Obviously the Cell is a prime battle unit, Trunks is a prime battle unit, and the Vegito, well, you can get from getting certain medals throughout the story quest, which I always suggest to people. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We're gonna just quickly run his medal stage just so we can see how many medals we get from it. And yeah, that's basically everything you need to know about Strength Zamasu LR. But like I said, he's really good. He also gets his LR ZA, which we'll take a look at just now, which makes him, even better slightly. So yeah, really good unit. And for Goku Black teams and LR Zamasu teams, or Zamasu teams, those kind of time traveler based teams, he's a really solid floater unit, from his ability to basically strengthen himself by getting last hits and knocking out enemies, which is great in Super Battle Road. It can also be quite helpful in long form events. Generally you're going to want to build him into crit, so just keep that in mind. You are going to want to build him completely into crit as much as you can. That's going to hopefully enable him to get the finishing blows, which will really strengthen him up. But yeah, go out and get your free LR Zamasu. His artwork's great, his animations are pretty crisp, and he's the same level of grind as Master Roshi. So right now, if you're new to the game and you're looking to collect some LRs, go out and get them. And yeah, just basically claim your free LR. There's nothing more to say. Him and Pan are, the missions have made them a lot easier to get, and have helped the grind become a little bit more bearable for new players. So just remember that there are those special missions that you will have to do, where you need to have at least Zamasu or Pan in your team when you are attempting certain stages, 3 and 6 for example, in Zero Mortals plan. So yeah, just keep that in mind so that you can obviously benefit from finishing those while you're doing the grind, because you want to kind of double up on these things. Obviously here's his EZA. It's pretty difficult for new players, so don't bother with it really if you're a new player to the game. You can challenge it at a later point. Maybe you got lucky in your summons. It's not too difficult, but you need certain units for it. The big help here is the free-to-play Vegito. So you can always take a look at my video on that, and that'll help you through there. But cool guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. But until then, stay safe, cheers, and bye!